Hey everyone, I'm 𝐪𝐹 of the Body Art Fitness Centers. This is the second part series on bulimia, the binge purge eating cycle. And if you haven't seen the first, I would so strongly advise that you do and then come back here. So in part one, I spoke of exactly what this eating disorder was all about, its causes, signs, and symptoms, and the many varied problems that are medically and otherwise associated with it. And today, I want to get into discussing how exactly it's diagnosed, tested, managed, treated, and last of all, which actually should be, first of all, prevented. On diagnoses, your general practitioner, your family doctor, will typically do a physical check. You can expect questions on medical history, symptoms, eating habits, one's mental and emotional state, and more. So while I appreciate that in essence bulimia is carried out usually in secret, you'll also appreciate that it is so critically important to be very honest with your answers to get the help that is required. Please remember, your family, your friends, your doctors, they're only trying to make you well. So, if the following criteria are met, you'll likely be diagnosed with bulimia. 1. Regular episodes of binge eating and then self-induced purging. 2. Feeling a lack of control of the quantity of food that you consume during a single meal or sitting. 3. The regularity of these episodes being at least once a week for 3 months. 4. Your body weight and size having a strong influence on your self-image, your self-esteem, and or external pressures such as comments made by friends, job and hiring requirements in certain industries such as in the airlines, certain sports, the entertainment industry. So there aren't any lab tests to specifically diagnose bulimia. However, your medical practitioner might well ask for tests in order to conclude upon how bulimia has actually affected your health. And these tests could include blood tests, urine tests, a kidney function test, and an ECG, an electrocardiogram. If you're enjoying this content, do hit the subscribe button, like and tap on the notification bell so that you're the first to be informed when new content is uploaded. So, moving on. Treatment. There are a variety of techniques that could be deployed, and you might be referred to dietitians, to mental health professionals, and more. Treatment approaches really vary and might include psychotherapy, that is cognitive behavioral therapy, one-on-one type of counseling, and that focuses really on changing your thinking, that's cognitive, and your behavior, that's behavioral patterns. It really all starts up there and then transcends. Treatment includes techniques for developing healthy and realistic attitudes towards food, towards body size and weight. It also suggests different approaches for changing the way in which you respond to stressful situations. Nutritional counseling would involve teaching healthful ways of eating. And medication in the form of antidepressants can reduce the frequency of binge eating and vomiting cycles. So, selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors are a type of antidepressants. However, in the long term, their effectiveness isn't very clear. These are also used for treating anxiety and depression, and these conditions are very common amongst people with bulimia nervosa. Finally, support groups. They are less used but can be useful only when used in conjunction with other forms of treatment. In such groups, people and their families meet and share their personal stories and experiences. And now on to my favorite part, which is prevention. Always better than cure. So, if bulimia runs in your family, all concerned in the family must be made aware of the warning signs so that the problem is caught early and nipped in the bud. Early treatment can rectify patterns and bad habits before they become really hardwired and therefore that much harder to break. One can also lower one's risk of bulimia nervosa by getting treatment for other connected issues and conditions such as depression and anxiety. Educators, parents, and other influencers can and should also teach and demonstrate that the ideal body type portrayed by the media and by social media particularly is a humongous part of it. It isn't real. It can in fact be most unhealthy and even downright unsafe and dangerous. Many people with bulimia do get better with treatment and go on to leading perfectly normal, healthy, and balanced lives. Whereas others improve initially, but then relapse and perhaps need treatment once again. Statistics go to show that approximately 50% of people with bulimia fully recover with appropriate treatment plans. However, left untreated, people with bulimia may develop very serious complications, as you would have gathered by now. So, I'd urge you, please not to make the error of thinking that this is somebody else's problem. You might be very surprised to find that it's happening in your own backyard, in your own home. So, vigilance pays. Stay watchful and aware.